Hey guys, so in this video I'm going to do a little bit of a makeup look for you guys. I don't feel equipped to do a makeup video. If you've seen my last video, I talked about how like a huge reason I haven't filmed any makeup videos is because this room is just a disaster. This room, just because it's only mine and I really only come in here to do my makeup. I mean, ideally I would like to come in here to do a lot more, but as of right now, I literally come in here to do my makeup and then I leave and I shut the door. So this room is just a disaster. So just please ignore the boxes and the bags behind you. Like, I have not unpacked at all. It's awful. I'm actually gonna work on this room today. I just wanted to get this video in first because I really wanted to get it up for you guys for Thanksgiving. On my Instagram, I asked you guys what you wanted to see on YouTube, and it was actually a response from my friend, but she said fall and holiday makeup looks. So I was like, okay, well, do you guys want to see like family party appropriate Thanksgiving Day, Christmas Day makeup looks, or do you want to see like glam, fun, like New Year's Eve, Christmas party with friends kind of look? And most people said family appropriate. She responded to me and said, I think more specific for me would be wanting a look with brown warm tones that doesn't look too heavy but is good for winter. And I was like, okay. My whole thing with sharing makeup and making makeup videos is that I feel like everything on YouTube can be so advanced sometimes, and it's just not really realistic for everyday women. I'm gonna try today to create a look that's going to be actually easy to replicate as far as actually doing the makeup and also going out and buying the products. So I actually got for today's look these e.l.f. bite-size eyeshadow palettes. I have not used them, although I'm sure, you know, if you watch any makeup videos at all, you've heard about these. They're supposed to be amazing, and they're $3 each. So I bought 3 of them, which was $9. I'm gonna probably try to use just 1 or 2 for today's look. So if you wanted to recreate this eyeshadow look, you can just run to Target and pick up one of these if you don't already have something that you can use. If you have eyeshadows that are similar to these colors that I'm using, do not go buy an eyeshadow palette, but I wanted to get like an easy option for you guys if you're like, I literally don't even have any eyeshadow to use and I want to recreate this look, or I want to have something nice for Thanksgiving or Christmas or literally anything. And I also understand how it is hard to work with darker colors, like especially if you are like, I don't really know what to do. So I'm going to do kind of like a little bit of a smoky look but still wearable. So I always just prime my eyelid with concealer. I don't really see the need for actual eyeshadow primer. I am going to be doing my eyes first just because if you aren't super good with makeup, this is going to be a little bit easier for you, because if you get any fallout or you mess up, it doesn't really matter. I think if you aren't super confident with your eyeshadow skills, definitely do your eyes first. So I'm going to take this palette, which is called Carnival Candy. It has this blue one in it, which obviously like I'm not going to use, but the other 3 colors I feel like are ideal. I'm going to start by taking this really light one. This is not a necessary step. I just feel like setting down your eyeshadow is going to make it easier to blend out. So even, I mean, if you're recreating this look and you buy this palette, this is great, but otherwise I would just use like a face powder or whatever like skin toned or translucent powder you have. I'm gonna stick in the same palette. I'm just gonna take this next shade over. I love colors like this really orangey brown. So I'm just going to use a big fluffy brush and I'm kind of just gonna start fluffing that in the crease. And I'm being kind of messy, just making sure everything's like really blended out. If you can see any lines, it's not blended enough. So I like to dip my brush in really good and like get it all over the brush and then really tap it off. So it's kind of like a soft, even distribution of color, and then just going in circles to make sure everything's blended really nicely. So I'm gonna take a bit of a smaller brush into the next shade. This is a lot more red, so if you don't want it super warm, you could just use like a more neutral brown. But I'm gonna start by stamping this in the outer corner of my eye. And I want my lid to be a bit smoky because I think it'll make it like a little bit more fall. So this is obviously not going to be super precise, but I'm just kind of taking my brush and like running it along my lash line and then bringing it up, kind of just blending all of this in. As you can see, like the more I blend it in, I'm just picking up a little bit more color. The more I blend it in, it's not like it's red. Like it definitely looks a lot more red, I think, in this. But when you really blend it out, it just adds like a really nice warmth to the eye. So I'm dipping it in again. I'm saying that because I've only now, I dipped it in like the first time really good, and then the second and third time just a tiny, tiny bit. Going back in with the first brush with no additional product. So I guess I want to reiterate like the amount of product I'm grabbing because that's really important. If you're kind of inexperienced with eyeshadow, the smallest amount that you can grab is ideal. Like the first color, I only dipped one time for each eye. So I'm not going back and back and back and back and back and back. Just the one time, and then I think I dipped, what, 3 times for the second shade? Okay, so I'm gonna grab another palette. This one is the Cream and Sugar. I'm gonna grab this dark brown. Ooh, I have eyeshadow on my finger. I'm taking it's kind of like a pencil brush, but a bit fluffier. This one's from Smashbox, but it doesn't really matter. Anything that's smaller. And I'm going to kind of just start laying this at the lash line. So of course this is going to be not precise at all. It's going to look smoky, and I'm just slowly building it up. I'm gonna take it up a little bit more in the outer corner right there. Just kind of building this shape that's almost like a little U this way. So then I'm gonna take my smaller blending brush and just start, I don't stick it on the color and blend out. I go around the edges, because if I stick it right there and I start going like this, I'm gonna lose that darkness. So I just go around the edges, and even then, like, you're still gonna lose darkness. But I want to say I'm so sorry if you can hear my lens focusing. I normally have an external mic on my camera, but because this room is such a freaking mess, I mean, I know it's here somewhere, but the filming setup is just not ideal. But hopefully you can't hear it too much. I'm trying not to move so you don't hear it. And then with no additional product, I'm going in with the big blending brush again. And again, going just around the outer edges and not going right over the dark shades. So I'm gonna go back into the first palette and grab that more red brown, just because I feel like with all this blending, I have lost some of that warmth. So I'm just going to kind of take it around the edges of that dark brown shade that we just put on. Taking the first brush again. I don't want to use this brush to blend out the outer edges because it's gonna bring that color. Like, even though I've put color on my lid, there's still some color left on this brush. So I like to take the brush with the lighter color that's left over and go around the edges, because I don't want to keep bringing the darkness out and out and out and out and out. I hope that makes sense, because I think sometimes it can be hard to, like, you want it to be blended. You still want to be able to differentiate between the colors. You can see, like, here's the dark brown, like here's the warm brown, here's the lighter transition shade up here. So now I'm just gonna start kind of going back and forth and adding like more of the darkness. At this point you can like stop whenever you're ready. If it's like as dark as you want it, or as warm as you want it, or as blended as you want it, just keep going back and forth. I'm gonna make it a little darker just for the purposes of this video, because I feel like I want to make this a little bit more smoky so it feels more fall and not just like an everyday makeup tutorial. You know, I want it to feel like a little bit more fancy. A small blending brush that's similar to the last one I used, but it is a different one, just because I'm going to start blending out this, or just adding more of this dark brown. The reason I use a different brush is, again, if I want to go back in and touch up the edges, I have like that other brush with the other product to do that. It's not totally necessary. Like, if you don't have a bunch of brushes like me, I have like, I think at least 300, like no drama. Like, I literally have over 300 brushes. So I can do this, you know, if you only have like 1 or 2 brushes, just take a paper towel and wipe off all the product that you can, and then go back in and blend around the edges. So going back into this cream and sugar palette, I'm gonna be taking these shimmer shades and just adding like a little bit of shimmer on the eye. So I'm gonna take this darker one and I'm just gonna add it to like just a little bit right to the center of the lid. I have to say that like I'm obsessed with these palettes. These are so good. $3 freaking. I'm mind blown. And then I'm gonna take the lighter one and kind of go into the inner corner here, just to brighten up this area. Okay, so from here on out, everything is gonna be optional now. I'm gonna show you what I do, what I like to do. It's not necessary. You could literally just throw mascara on now and like be done with it, but I'm gonna definitely like take it up a notch. Hello, it's me. So I'm gonna add a little liner, just a little bit of liquid liner. I don't know if I've ever done like a real tutorial on how I do my eyeliner. I probably have shown it in other makeup videos. I wonder if I should just make like a dedicated eyeliner tutorial, because I just find it to be so much easier. Like, because I like the winged look, I just like it to be a bit softer. So I just take my liquid liner and run it across my eye, and I literally just do a straight line like that. So I'm gonna take a black eyeshadow. I'm just gonna grab this one since I'm using the Bite Size eyeshadow palettes, and I bought this one. This one's in the shade Truffle. Any black eyeshadow you have, you do not need to use this at all. And I just take an angled brush and I create my wing with the shadow. It makes it look like I did a smoky wing, or like I put down eyeliner and then blended it out, but in reality it's just shadow. So I'm just gonna do a little bit. Like, I don't want this look to be wing heavy, if that makes sense. So I'm just gonna take a brush I used earlier and blend out that shadow. So I don't know if you can tell what I'm doing, but I don't go like this. I press my brush down right at the wing and I just flick up, because I want it to be blended this way, not this way. So putting the brush down and flicking it up. So the more eyeliner you add, the more lashes you add, like the more I add, I think it's gonna make it definitely more glam and less, I don't know, it's like hard for me because I'm like, I don't know what you guys consider to be family appropriate. I mean, I would wear this to my grandma's house 100%. I know everybody's a little bit different. So I always just like kind of take my nail or my finger. This is where the beauty of not having any foundation on comes into play. You can take a makeup wipe or whatever you want to kind of clean this up. I am going to save my lashes and stuff for after I do my face makeup. Just to save time, I'm not going to walk you guys through all of my face makeup and how I'm doing it. I can always do more in-depth videos for you if you want. Actually, I plan on doing that anyways. So I'll just share with you the products I'm using. I'm using the Maybelline Fit Me Dewy and Smooth. I have the shade 220 if you're curious. And then I'm using the e.l.f. sponge, this pink one. I think they call it like their multitasking sponge. Oh, this is like such an e.l.f. video today. This sponge is the best. I think it's $5 or $6, and I genuinely at this point like it better than my beauty blender. I will never ever buy a beauty blender ever again. I don't really like the Real Techniques one or anything like that, so this one's just my absolute favorite. And I just feel like if I, you know, throw it away and buy a new one, like I don't care, because it's like $5, you know. So this concealer is lighter than my foundation. I'm just putting a light layer on. This is the Too Faced Born This Way in light beige. So this is a bit, of course, brighter than my skin, but it's not like crazy bright. I've been kind of doing my concealer like a bit different because I've been watching this girl on TikTok and she just has the brightest inner corners in the whole entire world, and I'm like, wow, that's a vibe. That is such a vibe. I love it. I am obsessed with like inner corners that are way too bright. So then I take the shade Porcelain and I'm just gonna do right there and like a little bit right there, just to kind of brighten up more specific areas. I'm actually gonna take a brush so I don't blend it in like too much. Then I'm gonna take the Bare Minerals Well Rested powder and set my under eyes with that. Setting my face with my Hourglass powder. Okay, so I'm gonna finish up the lower lash line, and I'm gonna take this shade and just start to smoke it out. Honestly, these days, I don't like to really do a ton of work to my lower lash line. It just is like, meh, I don't care. I'm just gonna take this angled brush that I use for my black eyeshadow. I'm not even like putting any more shadow on it, but I'm just hitting it right in the outer corner and connecting it like kind of to the upper lash line just to kind of blend that out. But I don't like a ton on the lower lash line right now. So I'm just going to take these 3D foam ink lashes from Ardell. These are in the style 858. These are like my absolute favorite lashes lately, so I'm gonna wear these. I'm actually going to put these on, put mascara, put these on, put on my eyebrows, and come back. I have videos on how I fill my eyebrows, how to put on lashes. I also have microblading, so my eyebrows are not exciting. So I'm gonna do all of that and then come back and we'll finish up the rest of the face. Okay, so I ended up just doing my bronzer too because I just feel like that's just a basic. Just use whatever you have. It does not matter, of course. So next I'm going in with blush, and I'm going to use another like drugstore Target find, which is the Burt's Bees blush in Toasted Cinnamon. This is a great blush for this makeup look because it's like this burnt like orangey color. So perfect. I've been taking my blush up a little bit higher and hitting my nose just a little bit, not as much as like Addison Rae, but just like a little bit, you know? And I used to like hardly put on any blush, and now I do a little bit more. I like the way it looks. So for highlight, guys, I literally only ever use the Jaclyn Hill palette, but I know you guys can't just like go buy that anymore. I hope she comes back with them because they are just literally the best ever. I apologize, I don't have like a good drugstore highlight to use right now, so I'm just going to use Becca Moonstone, just because it's a classic. Again, highlighter doesn't really matter, like use whatever you have. And I'm not gonna put on like a ton, just like a soft. I've been like using a bigger brush for my highlight. I used to like to use a tiny brush and like pile it on like one spot. Now I just do like a little bit and I kind of just like hit it everywhere. And then I always just keep my highlighter in my hand and I use a tiny brush and really pump up that inner corner because it's like my new thing. For lips, I only ever have like one thing that I do, and that's using KKW number 1 and number 2. I probably should find like drugstore dupes. A little bit of number 2 and going around the edges. I just like the way like having the dark line really gives like the outline, and then I can blend it in. Stop talking and doing lip liner. I can really blend it in with the lighter one. Of course, I have this e.l.f. lip gloss I'm like obsessed with and I can't find it. I will try to link it down below for you guys if you want to pick it up so you can see which one it is. It's just like this clear, like kind of sparkly sheer lip gloss, but if you have a lip liner already, like it doesn't really matter because it's just like you're just adding a gloss and a shine, not color. I'm gonna take that old Dose of Colors collaboration with Desi and Katie, just to add like a little bit. Just like right in the center, guys. Just a little bit, just for a little pop. But you could do literally whatever you want for lips. It does not matter. We're done. We're done. Morphe setting spray, as always, with my bougie fan. Okay, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope this was actually helpful. I'll try to give you like a little final look here at the makeup look. I hope it was helpful. I hope you feel like you watch this and you're like, oh, I could actually do that, you know? I tried to give as many tips as I can, so I'm sorry. If nothing else, go buy those bite-sized eyeshadow palettes. They're amazing. And thank you for watching. Happy almost Thanksgiving. Can't believe we're almost to December. We're just ready for 2020 to be over. We're done with it now. So, all right, guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you in my next one. Into your grave. See, I finally opened up my eyes.